always keep this website in mind. So they've got fairly good documentation over here. So if you want to know how to use a specific content type, they've also got a forum. It's a pretty active forum. So if you have a problem, I'm sure someone else have had that problem before, and that's where you will then probably find an answer. It doesn't provide all of the capabilities, for instance, that Articulate has. So I know it's possible in Articulate to pull in a PowerPoint presentation. So that would be your starting point. That's one of the advantages of maybe using Articulate over something like H5P. But once you have the idea of how to start building these pages in let's say Lumi, it goes fairly quickly, and you can also copy. So for instance, if I go back here to this page, you just add a new page. So you can clone a slide. So let's say you want to use this layout, you just clone the slide, and now the slide is available over here. So of course you can also move it around or move it to the end. So that makes the design process also a lot more, makes it easier. You don't have to create each page from scratch. Another thing that you can do, so for instance, if I, let's say, want to use this presentation as a template for another a new presentation that I want to do. So let's say, for instance, I'm going to create a brand new one over here, course presentation. So what you can do is you can go to the existing one, just press copy over here and go to your new one and then paste and replace. So then it will paste all of that content from the previous one into this new one. Again, you can create your own templates that way. So again, that's a quicker way of working rather than creating everything from scratch. Once you have this, the template going, then it goes fairly quickly. So for instance, this toolbar over here, here you can add the audio. So this is the little audio player that's embedded within the slide, and you just use the button over there. So if I click on that and edit it, so you'll see here I've enabled autoplay. You also have different ways of showing the player. So you can show the full player, which is nice because then students can scroll around. They can skip back or forward with the audio recording, or you can have a minimalistic button like that. Then it's just a very simple interface, but of course that depends on what you want to achieve. So I like to use the full one so that they are able to skip ahead, and also it shows the progress indicator. Now that's possible for video. So this anchor icon over here is the go to slide activity, or not activity, rather capability. So if you want to go to a certain slide, you just insert that and you say, okay, go to slide so and so. And that's one way of creating branched capabilities within a presentation. Of course, if you want to create an activity that's got a lot of branching, there is a branched activity available in H5P that's got a lot more capabilities. You don't need to start with a blank one. So for instance, the interactive video here, if you want to go and see an example, just click over there and that will then open up the web page, and you can go and see what is this about. So the interactive video is, again, it's a normal video, but within the video you embed these other activities. So for instance, prepping, there's a multiple choice question that they can answer while it is playing. Of course, this content that you add, these pictures and so on, you need to create yourself or already have. So there is, you can zoom in. I think in one of the H5P activities that Fido showed earlier on is the, where is that one? Is the image hotspot one. So again, that gives you the capability of using an image and then highlight certain parts of an image. just to explain certain parts, and within that you can also of course embed any other type of content. So the capabilities, I mean, it's only up to your imagination. It's there, and yeah, like I said, it's free, so you can start right away. Now, in terms of the content itself, maybe I can use the module that Sarah is going to work on as an example. So you are going to work on module 8. So I think for the first unit, the lecturer provided slides with audio recording. So you will probably also make use of the presentation activity in H5P for that. But then the rest of it, so for instance, unit 2, she created a Word document which she also divided into slides, but this is a lot more text heavy. So I would maybe think of using an interactive book for this activity. But again, whatever you think is most appropriate for the content. So she also provided some images. So these images you can then maybe just copy and paste into the H5P. Sometimes the images are not very good quality. So then you will have to go and find stock images. Of course, when we use stock images, we have to credit that. We think lecturers are very good at crediting their sources working at a university, but it's usually up to us to remind them or even to go and find it. But yeah, as I say, whenever you use an image from somewhere else like Pexels or those stock images websites, just make sure that you make a note of it. Usually the easiest is just to give credit as soon as you use it, because then it's there. So you'll see this this hamburger button over here does have the option over here to download it. What we also usually provide, and that's also, I guess, for accessibility, is a transcript. So we have software that we can just put the audio recording through, and that will then create the transcript for us. So what you can then do is just add a link to the transcript page, or even a file that they can download, which is also sometimes useful. A nice way of extracting content. So for instance, I can show you here, you can save it as, so you can just extract it. Sorry. So what you need to do is what I need to do on my computer. So I think you need to rename it as zip. That's the PowerPoint file, and then you can unzip it. And then you have the PPT folder. And so for instance, all the media, the audio files is over here. So you don't need to go and right click and save in PowerPoint. And the images are also all the images that are used in the presentation is available here. So that's an easy and quick way if you are provided with it.
That .zip thing that you showed works on Windows as well. So it's not just a Linux thing. Windows and Mac actually. So all of them do that.
The Word document, that should also be true for the Word document. So if we download a copy of that, so there's the media. So you can also then find all the images there. So you don't have to go and make screenshots. This will be very nice, high quality images that you can use. So the problem with screenshot is you always lose quality. So again, this is basically the highest quality that you will be able to get out of a Word document. But yeah, that's a quick and easy way of getting to the content that's hosted in a Word document. One challenge that I do find with PowerPoint is things like these, so these are those smart shapes or something that you get in. So this is not an image, this is something that PowerPoint creates dynamically. So I think I can't edit it in this version of PowerPoint. You can only edit it in the desktop version. So
Yeah.
then what I do is, I download it as a PDF, make sure it's as big as possible, and then take a screenshot. That's my last thing that I try, to get content, because you always lose quality with screenshots. It's always the best to try and use the original image, and like that zip file method is one way to get to the content um, at its highest quality. Of course, if a lecturer uses a low resolution image, then you're not going to win anyway. So then you will probably have to recreate it from scratch.